It's Pog. It gets good. I almost don't even want to go in, okay? Because I only watched an episode and a half, so I can't speak with authority, but that's never stopped me before. I understand that people want it to be good. And that, when you want something to be good, it gets like a plus 25% buff, okay? I gotta tell you though, I don't feel like The Sandman is it. When you want something to be good, you automatically like it more. Anytime a streaming service or a company is like, hey, we're gonna spend $200 million on a fantasy or a sci-fi project, I'm like, man, I really want this to be good. And then I watch it, and the first 15 minutes, I'm like, oh, why did so many people say this was ass? This seems amazing. And then like 25 minutes in, I'm like, oh, I get it now. And I fell victim to the same psychology when I went to see The Matrix 2 in theaters. I wanted it to be amazing. How could it be worse than the original? They learn from the mistakes they made in the original and make it even better. Plus, at the end of the first movie, Neo can fly. Imagine what he could get up to in this one. I saw it. While I was watching it, I said, this is the greatest action movie I've ever seen in my life. They did it. It's actually even better than the original Matrix by a lot. It's probably twice as good. And then like a couple of years later, I watched it again and I said, wait a minute, this is not even close to as good as the original. This actually sucks. And then I watched it like last year and I said, wait a minute, this doesn't actually suck. This is actually good, just in a different way. But the third one still sucks. I think the second Matrix is actually a little underrated, but is starting to get its due desserts. It's just desserts. It's just diligences. The third one is not good. Nobody cares about Zion. Nobody likes your house, Jacob. Nobody likes your city, Morpheus. Just go back into the Matrix and do like some anime shit. Like when he pulled out the katana and sliced the SUV in half. You didn't love the Dirty Zion rave? What's crazy is that's actually in the second movie. So I don't hold that against the second movie. Well, like the first half of The Matrix 2 is really bad. But the second half is like an hour and 30 minutes of just live action anime. And I think that's kind of when The Matrix is at its best. Except for the first movie when it was just good, you know, in general. How about the cake that made the lady come? Okay, I apologize. That was like very blunt wording. We gotta cancel the Merovingian, okay? That's not okay that he's feeding people desserts that give them orgasms against their will. That motherfucker needs to be canceled. Explain? In the second movie, he says like, oh, check it out, because I'm a rock star coder. I can do whatever I want. And then he makes a cake that sends a bunch of ones and zeros to a woman's genitals and also her brain simultaneously. And then she goes, and she says, excuse me, and goes to the bathroom. It's sick and twisted. And then he never gave out the recipe. And that's the most sick and twisted part of it all. Many people were watching that movie at 13 years old and waiting for the official cookbook of The Matrix 2 to come out. And then it never did. I watched it when I was 12 and I thought she was peeing. I had a friend in, I guess it was the 9th grade when I saw it. I had a friend who told me he received oral affection until completion in the theater while he was watching the second Matrix movie. I was a pretty gullible kid, but even I was like, no, you fucking didn't. Come on, man. Like this, well, he was like, I know I've told this before, but I was like, how was the movie? He saw it opening night, and he was like, I don't know, I didn't really pay attention. I got my blanked in the theater. I was like, no, come on, dude, you're 13 years old. That did not happen. But he maintained, we haven't spoken in almost, I don't know, 17, 18 years. He maintained that story was true. He got his drink drunk in the theater. I love the blanks, man. He got his wallet stolen in the theater. He got his Vingian marrowed. He got his marrowed Vingian. Here's another question for you. Admittedly, it's a little spicy. Don't use your points to contribute right now, okay? Like, because it might not even be working. They just pushed. You just donated 50,000 channel points, I think, to nothing. But that's possibly the most valuable thing you could do with your points. So, you know what? Fair enough. This is I would love to get like a real answer on this. Because it sounds like this story is really common. You read a lot of stories on Reddit. You see a lot of stories in Twitch chat about like, hey, we were in like 10th grade science class and one of the kids at the back started masturbating and then the teacher yelled at him. That story, a lot of weird things happened in my high school, I guess. That story, oh, they pushed me off! That never happened to me in my high school, at least not in my classes. Go ahead, say it. Real voice, real voice. Can I get a Y or an N if that happened in your school? Happened 3 times in mine. Happened at mine. N. There's a lot of Y's though. It's probably at least 35% Y's. That's wild, man. Yes, the kid got expelled. Yes, not in my class, but it did happen. But in my hall, in the library, I would say weekly occurrence at mine. What? Weekly occurrence? That school's got some problems. They need to do a crackdown. Now, there's probably a few people in chat who were that kid, but I'm not going to ask you to relive that shame. Just continue living in relative anonymity, okay? 2 students did it in the school elevator, and they got caught because somebody pressed a button. Okay, there's 2 things that makes me think of. One, was your school 80 stories tall? Your school had an elevator? Our school had 2 staircases, and one of the staircases had the assisted lift that you could like put someone on and then it would take them up the staircase, but we did not have an elevator. The second thing is, that's why I never understood the song Love in an Elevator by Aerosmith. First off, how tall is the building that they're in that they can have intercourse to completion in an elevator? And then also, what are they just holding like the closed door button or something like that? Or are they bogarting the whole elevator? In which case, there's probably like some old ladies trying to get back to their suite on floor 63 that are they're gonna have heart attacks on the damn stairs or something. I don't fully understand how elevators work, but I'm starting to learn because I think I told you guys this once before, but one time me and my daughter were in the elevator and she pushed the emergency call button and then it went beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop, like it was clearly making a phone call from the elevator. And then the door opened up to drop us off on our floor and I just got out. And then like 3 people got in the elevator and I heard them go, oh, what's that? But I did not stick around to see the resolution. I was like, I'm out of this.